Everybody. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Shout out to everybody in the chat. For those that are coming in, ooh, what folder am I in? Welcome, everybody. Hopefully, I see these comments up here. Thank you guys for hitting that like button. Letting the people come in here, those notifications to go out. Hopefully, we will get. Oh, hold up. Let me let the people know that we're live. I could hear myself in somewhere else as we set up. Hey, everybody. Good morning. Shout out to everybody. We live now. Um, hold up. Hey, everybody. Thank you guys for being here. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Thank you. Hello, how are you? I think I got your email yesterday. Thank you so much for your email. Don't forget to like on your way. Absolutely. Thank you. Hey, Mary. Good morning. All right, guys. So we got a pretty full agenda. We have to review. There was a press conference held on Kada Scott. So I want to talk about Kada Scott at the beginning. We were just going to talk about Jacqueline Torres, but Kada Scott came up, so I figured we could do that here and figuring out what's going on with Kada Scott. So far, we know that there's a suspect in her disappearance, and they held a press conference. I have not watched the press conference yet because I kind of like watching those things with you guys and reacting in real time. So we will be doing that right now. Let me know what you guys think in the comments as we're reviewing this. I'm just letting the people get in here. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Yes, welcome. We will be reviewing that later on. There was a hearing today. I did review some of the hearing last night. If you missed that live, make sure you guys check it out. Welcome, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. This is wild, and I haven't seen it either. Yeah, there's so much going on as far as the two specific cases that we've been bringing attention to. So let's get into it. Right now, there was a press conference on Kada Scott. This one just broke maybe about 2 hours ago or an hour ago. And this is the Philadelphia District Attorney's Office. If you guys remember, this is Kada Scott. She went missing, I believe, October 4th, coming out of like she was last seen, I guess, going to her work. 23 years old, beautiful, gorgeous woman. She was working at an assistant living facility, and we were promoting that missing person number. Hopefully, that maybe somebody might have some information. She had been receiving like harassing calls and messages and whatnot leading up to her disappearance. And so then she disappears and her social media just goes blank. So we definitely want to pay attention to what's going on here. Let's watch. Hopefully the volume's up here on my end. Okay. Oh, get the volume up. Can you? I'm sure nobody can hear it. Hold up, y'all. Here we go.
We're good? We're good? All right.
Once we
Everybody ready?
Oh, I'll wait.
All right. Good morning. Just want to give you an update on the disappearance of Kada Scott, which occurred on October 4th, 11 days ago. Going to provide you an update in terms of an individual that is currently in custody for his involvement in the disappearance of Miss Scott. However, still a lot of work needs to be done. And so just want to make that very clear as to why we are here and the information that you will receive. Essentially letting you know how we have gotten here, but more so the public's help that we need right now. The public has been very, very helpful thus far in providing a lot of information, which the investigators have been able to track down a lot of the leads, which has helped us get to this point here. But as I said, a lot of work still to be done. The number one priority is locating Miss Scott. I just want to make that very clear. And so while we are at this stage of this now, that's our priority. And so we will ask for your help in locating this vehicle, which you'll get a little more information. It's a 1999 metallic gold Toyota Camry with a Pennsylvania tag of MSX0797. But we need to know where this car is. We need to find this car. Making this very clear, it's not to just focus on the northwest section of the city of Philadelphia. This car has traversed through the entire city. And so I want that to be clear, that every neighborhood, every person listening to this, whether you're in North Philly, South Philly, Southwest, Northwest, please open your eyes and see if you locate this car, or if you have seen this car, please contact us and give us that information. The second part of this is the individual that Deputy Commissioner Venor will provide his information very shortly. Want folks to understand this person has a little bit of a pattern of this type of history. And so we want to encourage anyone that may have been involved with this individual, anyone that may know this individual, please, at this point in time, make that phone call. Feel comfortable enough to call us and let us know if you have any information regarding this person, regarding any interaction you've had with this individual. If you have been a victim of any crime regarding this individual, I want you to understand now is the time to make that phone call and let us know. Give us that information so that we can continue on. Again, just want to make it very clear that a lot of work has been done, starting off with Northwest Detective Division, and then this case shifting over to homicide, making it very clear that the case was shifted to homicide because we have the most experienced investigators in our homicide unit. They have the most experience dealing with all types of investigations. They also have the most resources available to them. And so we have the hopes that we are still treating this as if Ms. Scott is still alive. And that's why we want the public's help in trying to locate every single piece of this. But I just wanted to make that clear because I know there's been some reports once it shifted over to homicide, folks not understanding the why. And so that's the reason behind that. At this point,
Oh my God, because it's true, and I had to stop it. So for those that are coming in, this is regarding Kada Scott. They had a press conference. She's the woman that went missing, 23 years old, out of Philly. She went to her job and never came back, no social media active. Apparently, before she went missing, she was receiving these harassing messages or calls or whatever. So somebody was like targeting her. So we got the news yesterday that homicide was involved. So of course, when we hear that, in my opinion, it's kind of like, well, they don't expect it to be alive. But this is a change of tune, okay? Yes, in the individual who they believe they have somebody who they're looking at, they're asking for the public's help, has a pattern. A pattern. I don't know if that's a pattern of doing this or a pattern of what exactly, but let's keep watching.
time again. Appreciate the help that we've gotten. I want to turn everything over to Deputy Venor to go into more details about the individual that has been taken into custody and some other pertinent facts of the investigation.
All right, good morning. Just to reiterate what the Commissioner Stanford said, we've been investigating this since Saturday, October 4th in the evening, the last time Kada Scott was seen at her place of work up in Mount Airy area. Our evidence that we followed, and we did involve a lot of investigators on this, led us to several places, that digital evidence, and as everyone knows, we searched a very large area up in the Arboretum, and we came up really with negative results. After that time, we asked the Homicide Division, the FBI Violent Crime Task Force to enter into the investigation to assist. All right, and we continued our search trying to track Ms. Scott's whereabouts along with anybody she may have encountered during that time. Our evidence is pretty clear that she was in communication with an individual. That individual appears to meet her very shortly after she leaves her place of work. And very shortly after that, she disappears off of the footprint. We have a lot of digital evidence, video and other, which provides us with this individual by the name of Keon, K-E-O-N, King, K-I-N-G. We believe this individual, and through our evidence, we were able to charge this individual. The district attorney was able to charge the individual. You'll hear from them shortly with kidnapping at this point. It's very important to know we're not done our investigation. We need to find Ms. Scott, figure out where she is or what may have happened to her to cause her to completely disappear from all her items, her phone, her Instagram, social media sites, and everywhere else, work. She left her car at that location. So it's very important that this individual, who does have prior history of being arrested, especially for this very same thing, this year was charged with kidnapping another female acquaintance. That case was dismissed from court, and they'll explain it. It's going to be refiled now as we're.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Am I hearing this correctly? He had already been like, he had already been in trouble before for kidnapping, and now he's doing it again? And that case got dismissed? You're kidding me. You're kidding me. Oh my God.
Going to move forward to attempt. So he's being really charged with 2 cases today of kidnapping. And in that case, it involves assaults that occurred during the kidnapping. So this is a pattern of behavior. That vehicle that you've seen, the Toyota Camry, was his vehicle. All right. That vehicle's not recovered. All right. Some of the stuff he did as we attempted to find him was he got rid of things like the car, the phone. We're not able to find things that he was using. He had an address in Southwest Philadelphia. He had other addresses that it looks like he's not using anymore. So he attempted to elude us for some time. He did come in last night. He's here being processed, but there's a lot of questions we still have. So we're asking the public's help. We need it more than ever. This car, you'll see a better picture of it. We sent it to you digitally. It's a gold colored Camry, 1999. It has heavy front end damage on the left front bumper. All right, that's being described that way several times. We know it's been in the Mount Airy area. We have photos of it in Center City. We have pictures of it in Grace Ferry area and in Southwest Philadelphia. So it's possible that it could be anywhere. It could be outside the city. So if somebody sees this, thinks they know where this car is, it's very possible it doesn't have this tag on it anymore. So if you see a car like it, we're urging you to call police, have it investigated. Any information on this, you can call our tip line, 215-686-TIPS, 8477, or the Homicide Division directly, and give that information. All right, I'm going to turn things over to ADA Teslowski, who could speak a little more about
This is crazy.
the charges and potentially other charges that he's facing.
I need a whole, give me 1 sec, y'all. Like I said, I hadn't seen this. I had not seen this before. I am just in shock, you guys. I don't know what to say. This is insane. This is insane.
Thank you.
Mm-mm.
My name is Ashley Teslowski. I am an assistant district attorney in the homicide unit. I became involved in this investigation last week when the investigation was turned over to the homicide unit. So I became the assigned ADA when detectives Rob Daly and Joe Kremen took over the case. The first thing I want to say is that PPD and our federal partners and Detective Daly and Detective Kremen have done an amazing job to get us where we are. Today I'm joined by Tracy Washington from our Victim Services Unit and also Bob Listenby, the first assistant of our office. What I can confirm is that our office, as of the early morning hours into the early morning hours this morning, did charge this individual with charges, the lead charge being kidnapping. You know, as we've said multiple times at this point, we do not know where Ms. Scott is. So at this point, our lead charge is kidnapping. What we're able to confirm and what I was able to charge based on is what we know, which has already been said, which is that this person, Mr. King, is the last person we believe to be in contact with her, and that he was in contact with her when she went offline, meaning her phone, everything. So at this point, the investigation has led us here, and we're able to charge him with kidnapping, recklessly endangering another person, use of a communication facility, meaning his phone. We were able to track his phone and communications on his phone. He's being processed as we speak. When I picked up this investigation, one of the things that our office also learned was that he did have a previous case. It was a 2025 case for very similar conduct, strangulation and kidnapping. That case had been withdrawn by our office based on the witness failing to appear at court. I pulled that file, and after an extensive review of it, our office made the decision to refile those charges. We believe there is enough to proceed, and we also do believe that this is a pattern for this person. That refile was filed yesterday. He was served on that as a part of our conversation with him. Him being here and being processed on the new charges, he was served for that, so he will also be facing a preliminary hearing on that previous kidnapping case as well. So at this point, he will have 2 open kidnapping cases that will face preliminary hearings in the coming months.
So, hold up. So she spoke so fast. So he had a separate kidnapping incident. Now, I had to pull this up. According to the assistant attorney, King was arrested and charged earlier this year with kidnapping and strangulation. In that case, King was charged with kidnapping a woman he knew, throwing her in the car, assaulting her, and then letting her out. Those charges were dismissed in May. However, the witness didn't show, and so that's why they basically dismissed it. If I'm understanding this correctly, that's crazy work. That's crazy.
I don't know if there's any
Question
questions.
for the district attorney's office. How many times does a defendant, does the case appear before a judge that it's then withdrawn? I mean, how many times did this matter come before a judge and the decision then gets made, it's withdrawn?
And it depends. In this specific case, what I could tell you is that after the first listing, when the victim failed to appear, the case was marked what I'll call must be tried, which is a little bit of a court lingo, but basically saying if it's not tried by the next listing, it'll either be dismissed or withdrawn. It was marked that way after the first listing when she didn't appear in court. And then at the second listing, when again, we didn't have the witness or the victim in court, it was at that point withdrawn, given the previous marking.
Do you have his date of birth?
I do not, but I'm sure we can get that.
Yeah, I'll do.
The video that was seen of the vehicle in the area of the Arboretum, do we believe that's the vehicle that?
So this vehicle has been traveling all over the city. So we do believe this video is involved in what we're talking about, and we have it all over the city in concert with how he's moving as well. We have it. Yep, we have the date of birth for you. It is 5/6/2004. So 5/6/2004.
Do you guys know how the two knew each other, how long it had been, and is this
Can't even hear the question.
individual that Kada had expressed concern about, specifically harassment?
I'm not willing to comment on that at this time. That's still very much being investigated in terms of their relationship and how long they knew each other.
We don't even know. It's unclear how they met. This is weird. So when the officer said pattern, I'm thinking like pattern, like there's been at least one or more incidents like this. But has she been talking to this individual before? Is that what this is? Was it the same for the first victim that this happened to? It's a lot of questions. It is crazy that if they had enough evidence to at least arrest him at the time, they needed the first victim's cooperation to move forward with charges. So they didn't get it. They dropped the charges. How do we know she wasn't intimidated? How do we know that she wasn't, threatened or anything like that? That's crazy.
So the significance of the car right now, the urgency, if you will, can you address why you believe people need to find this car?
Sure, I can certainly comment on that, or if you want to. I mean, at this point, we believe that he is connected to this vehicle. We also believe she may have been in that vehicle.
As far as the other case, the kidnapping case,
Yes.
can you just explain some of the circumstances surrounding that case, as brief as you need to be?
Sure. That case is an individual that was known to him, a domestic in nature. And what I can say is the allegations in that case are that he kidnapped a woman in front of her house, threw her in her car, assaulted her, and then eventually let her out of the car. There is some video evidence, I believe, that'll be played at the preliminary hearing, but that was domestic in nature.
And do you have a time or about when that happened?
It was this year in 2025. The case was withdrawn in May, so it predates that by a little bit.
Oh my God.
I don't know if we have exactly the last location, but what I can say is through our investigation, it was tracked all over the city, in multiple areas of the city in multiple different time periods throughout, the entire length of this investigation.
When police were at an address in Southwest Philadelphia last Thursday night, was that one of his addresses?
It was one of the addresses connected to this investigation.
Do you believe anyone else might be helping King or possibly be driving a vehicle for him?
In terms of other people being involved, I don't have comment on that at this time. It's still very much being investigated. There have been several phone numbers involved that we've been tracking, but all roads at this point lead to him.
I'm confused about the vehicle though. This is his vehicle, correct? Not her vehicle. I'm sorry. Maybe I missed that part.
And so that's what we're hoping leads us to her.
After she arrives at work at 10 o'clock, how big is the time window that she actually remains at work before leaving?
Yeah.
not there long at all. She gets there maybe just before 10, and right after, she's out, maybe 20 minutes. That's what I'm told.
Are they communicating at this point?
We believe they are, yeah.
Do you know how the two knew each other?
I don't know their relationship. Obviously, they had a connection. They're going back and forth, and they've known each other for a short time, but I don't know how long.
Do you know if she was willingly meeting him, or was she trying to?
I don't know. I don't know yet.
We're just going to take a couple more questions. Just want to get this information out there as quickly as we can. So 2 more questions?
I just wanted to see, is he saying anything? Is he being interviewed? I know
I'm not
he's
going to
in
comment
custody.
on that at this point.
Next question.
All right?
All right, thank you very much.
This is insane. This is insane, guys. That's him. Keon, I think his name is Keon King. So he did this before. Okay. This is crazy. In the case, King was charged with kidnapping a woman he knew, throwing her in the car, assaulting her, then letting her out. Those charges were dismissed. The DA said that the witness didn't show up to court several times. Now police say that they're refiling the case. Now they're refiling? They don't need the first victim anymore? Why couldn't they just refile without the victim, even if she didn't want to cooperate? I mean, there would have been evidence of all that, strangulation and everything. This is crazy. So they needed her in the courtroom with so they're going to, now police are saying they're refiling that case and charging King with additional counts of kidnapping. Oh my God. Now, has Kada Scott been found? This is what we know so far. While King's in custody, officials have not yet found Scott. The PPD Homicide Division is still investigating the case, but they hope Scott is still alive. In search for Scott, officers are looking for King's vehicle, which they said King got rid of in an attempt to elude police. The car is a 1999 gold Toyota Camry, which investigator says has heavy front end damage on the left front bumper. The license plate is an MSX0797, but officials said the car may not have had the same tag anymore. We need to know where this car is. We need to find this car, making this very clear. It is not just to focus on the northwest section of the city of Philadelphia. This car, I guess, traveled through the whole area. And so I want to make clear that every neighborhood, every person listening to this, whether you're in North Philly, Southwest, Northwest, please keep your eyes open. So we haven't found her. Sounds like he's in custody, but we haven't found her. This is horrible. And I think this is her dad. She might have done an interview. Hold up, y'all. Let's see if we can get this.
All right, listen up, folks. We need your help here. The family and community are rallying together as the search continues for 23-year-old Kada Scott.
And today marks 11 days since she went missing. She was last seen October 4th at her workplace at the Terrace in Chestnut Hill. Her car was in the parking lot, but her keys and cell phone are missing. The FBI, and as we have now just learned, that homicide detectives have joined the investigation.
Her father, Kevin, is with us here. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
We've seen pictures of her, but we don't know her, obviously, like you do as her dad. Describe her to us.
Since she's a normal 23-year-old girl, intelligent, creative, ambitious. She had hopes of starting a healthcare business as far as self-care. She was into things like that. She was into fashion. A lot of friends, a lot of family. She liked going out. She had a definite deep interest in fashion. So, you know, I loved her, but she was, in a sense, still a 23-year-old girl trying to figure it out. You know,
young.
in the world. Yeah.
Like any 23-year-old.
And it sounds like if she wanted to open her, wants to open her own healthcare business, that this was the way to do it, by starting. She just got the job at the senior care facility, right?
Oh my
How long
God.
had it been?
About less than 2 weeks.
Less than 2 weeks.
So
Okay.
she worked the night shift.
Less than 2 weeks, and she was working the night shift. Y'all, I used to work the night shift too. I'm telling you, you gotta, when you're 23, you're not really thinking about your surroundings like that or anything like that. But I mean, literally anything in the blink of an eye, you can become a target. But it sounds like she was receiving these harassing messages before her disappearance. So did she meet Keon King somewhere else? Was there something must have happened? Maybe, I don't know. Or how did they even connect?
Shift? I mean, like overnight?
Yes.
But only been there 2 weeks, so.
Right. It was 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. was the shift.
And when did she disappear? How far into that shift?
That's the problem. When we first inquired about Kada's whereabouts, her mother called in. They got two conflicting stories. They first thought she worked the entire shift to 6 a.m. And then Kada never came home. Her mom made another call, and I believe spoke with another person at the facility who then indicated, no, Kada may have left early in the shift, maybe 10:30 or 10:45.
Just after she got there.
Yeah, they believe the last time anyone saw her was around 10:30 p.m. or 10:45.
So the car's still in the parking lot.
Yes.
And her keys to that car and her phone, nobody can find. Even though it pinged at the Arboretum, right?
Correct. Once things became heightened, her mom called the police to open up a report. The following day, Monday, we all went up to the job, herself, me, myself, other close family and friends, to inquire what happened. The police met us at that point. They did a sweep of the facility. They looked inside the car, and Kada's belongings were not there, including the iPad. She had iPhone, iWatch, pocketbook. None of that was inside the car when the police opened it. Yeah.
And so learning of this new information, because we've been showing video about so many people have been coming out and looking for, checking the Arboretum, checking the area around the facility. And now with the fact that homicide detectives are on, that's just purely to get more hands involved, right? Or what are they telling you?
From what we've been told exactly, that the homicide unit is the best of the best in Philadelphia. They have years and years of experience. They have more resources, more tools, so they wanted to put that unit on this job to possibly get Kada home.
Like Alex said, more eyes on the investigation.
Yeah.
So I guess that I do wonder what the outcome is going to be. I mean, I really hope that she's found alive. Like, number one, right? Somebody asked in the somebody asked in the chat, how did he know where she worked? A lot of people a lot of young people, I would say, and I tell this to a lot of young people, stop putting your place of employment on social media, right? If however they met, maybe she was easy to find on social media, and that's how we found out where she worked and everything. Like that could possibly be it. She had only been there for 2 weeks. So it's very likely that maybe he was stalking her. He was, calculating her moves and everything, and then he just got to her this way.
But it's kind of startling to hear that the homicide division is involved.
Of course,
did that stun you in a little bit, or?
Absolutely. They
aback?
initially spoke with Kada's mom, and she received the phone call, and she was startled, taken aback, hearing homicide, but they rest assured that it's not a homicide. They again explained this is the best unit in Philadelphia, and we're working your daughter's case. And she pretty much iterated that message to me when I spoke with her.
They didn't have cameras at this facility, this place where she worked?
No. That was a big issue. The entire facility, there's no surveillance, closed-circuit TV cameras at all within this whole facility. So that heightens everyone's concern.
Right.
Oh, my God.
Where's my daughter? When did she leave?
Now that we're entering our 11th day, what has this been like for you and your family?
It's been the worst thing of my life, my family's life. 11 days, you have a missing person in your family. Fortunately, we know how these stories go in the media. Each day, it's more heightened and dangerous, and the hopes of getting your loved one, it's tough. But we're positive. I'm positive. The family's positive. We have a strong support system, and we are confident we're going to get Kada back.
Nobody's given up yet.
No,
sure.
Have there
Not at
been
all.
leads, or if you feel like you're getting a lot of information in still?
The police department has been very responsive to the detectives we're working with. Unfortunately, because of the case, they can't give us details that may compromise, but they have been working with us. They've been communicating with us.
I have a couple daughters, and she's 23. So you're probably not sharing too much of her personal life.
Right.
We keep hearing about these harassing phone calls. You have any idea who's
Yes.
on the other end of the phone?
What happened
I
there?
wish I did. I would obviously report that information to
Sure.
the police, but prior to this incident happening, no, I had no idea.
Yeah, and did she talk to her younger sister, Kenzie?
They
about it?
talk, but her sister is pretty forthcoming. This
Yeah.
serious situation. If she do anything, she would have
She would bring it up, too.
Yeah, she would bring it up.
We also want to mention that you set up a GoFundMe.
We did, in the sense of we want to increase the amount of credible leads to the police department. So it's on GoFundMe /Find Kada. Any information, big, small, minuscule, just please call, report it to the police department. From what the police department told me, any small piece could be the thing that they need that completes the whole
And
puzzle
sometimes
together.
a lot of times these rewards do help.
Yeah.
People will come
So
forward.
if anyone wants to share the story, donate, call in again with the leads. Anyone that those leads lead to possibly getting my daughter home safe, recovered, they get the entire verified fund through GoFundMe. They get those proceeds.
Wow.
It goes to those guys. Whoever can help bring Kada home gets
All right.
that money.
We promise to stay on it
Yes.
every day until she comes home.
Appreciate it. Thank you for having me and putting the word out. Thank you.
Of course, thank you for being here.
Yeah.
And please give your family our love. And
Oh my
like Mike
God.
said, we'll continue to spread the word.
Appreciate it. Thank you. All right.
Let's bring her home.
This is just, oh my God. First of all, it's just so disturbing that this man who kidnapped her did this before to another woman, and that they dismissed the case. And so then here we are, not even a year later, a couple months later, he did it again. And now he's in custody. And apparently they have enough information to say that, he tried to hide this car. We don't know where this car's at. So they're asking for the public's help in locating this car, or Kada, because they haven't been able to find her. Hold up, y'all.
More on this break.
They haven't been able to find her. I don't. It's crazy to me that so now the DA is getting ready to charge him again for that kidnapping that he did back in May. They couldn't charge him then because the victim couldn't cooperate, or she didn't cooperate, but they didn't have enough evidence to charge him initially. I'm so confused. Is the victim going to cooperate now that they're going to recharge him again? It makes no sense to me, guys. It really doesn't. Honestly, it almost feels like, well, we're just not going to move forward, initially with now that we know that he did it again because he's got this pattern. We're going to do it again, but we couldn't do it at first, but now we're going to do it again. Doesn't that just weird? Yeah, they have the video evidence of the first crime. They have video evidence of the first crime. So they couldn't charge because the witness / victim wouldn't cooperate, which is fine, right? Because I would imagine this is very traumatizing, but they couldn't move forward with charges without her cooperation. They could have prevented this. This didn't have to happen. So now he did this again to another woman. In less than 6 months? Not even? I would be outraged. Yes, video evidence in the first one. That's what the DA said. Ain't that some ish? I don't know. So now he's in custody. We don't even know. We don't know where she's at. They're looking for this car. They don't know. But he could have been charged before. They could have moved forward because they had video evidence without the cooperation of the witness. Get out of here. That is some BS. That is some lazy BS right there. What do you mean? Crazy. I don't even know how. I'm like, I'm without words. I'm speechless. I am speechless. This is, we watched this one, but I think this is more like I'm trying to understand. Like, did this
All
really
right.
happen?
Good morning. Just want to give you an update
Hold up. I
on
want to
the
hear what the DA
disappearance
said.
of Kada Scott.
This is more in their face. I want to hear.
My name is Ashley Tuzlowski. I am an assistant district attorney in the homicide unit. I became involved in this investigation last week when the investigation was turned over to the homicide unit. So I became the assigned ADA when detectives Rob Daly and Joe Kremen took over the case. The first thing I want to say is that PPD and our federal partners and Detective Daly and Detective Kremen have done an amazing job to get us where we are. Today I'm joined by Tracy Washington from our Victim Services Unit, and also Bob Listenby, the first assistant of our office. What I can confirm is that our office, as of the early morning hours into the early morning hours this morning, did charge this individual with charges, the lead charge being kidnapping. You know, as we've said multiple times at this point, we do not know where Ms. Scott is. So at this point, our lead charge is kidnapping. What we're able to confirm and what I was able to charge based on is what we know, which has already been said, which is that this person, Mr. King, is the last person we believe to be in contact with her, and that he was in contact with her when she went offline, meaning her phone, everything. So at this point, the investigation has led us here, and we're able to charge him with kidnapping, recklessly endangering another person, use of a communication facility, meaning his phone. We were able to track his phone and communications on his phone. He's being processed as we speak. When I picked up this investigation, one of the things that our office also learned was that he did have a previous case. It was a 2025 case for very similar conduct, strangulation and kidnapping. That case had been withdrawn by our office based on the witness failing to appear at court. I pulled that file, and after an extensive review of it, our office made the decision to refile those charges.
They had video evidence of this. They were like, well, we just dismissed it because the victim didn't show up. So what? If you had the evidence, it doesn't make sense to me.
I believe there is enough to proceed, and we also do believe that this is a pattern for this person. That refile was filed yesterday. He was served on that as a part of our conversation with him. Him being here and being processed on the new charges, he was served for that. So he will also be facing a preliminary hearing on that previous kidnapping case as well. So at this point, he will have 2 open kidnapping.
Yes, that's my point. That's my point, Miracle Child, is now they're moving forward to refile the first kidnapping case. If they would have filed the first kidnapping case, then maybe Kada Scott would not be missing. Does that make sense? Does it make at all any sense? I'm glad that they're refiling, don't get me wrong. But why would they now they're doing it when they could have done this before with whatever they had, even if the witness didn't cooperate? That's crazy to me. This is why I was like, am I hearing this correctly?
Cases that will face preliminary hearings in the coming months.
I don't know if there's any questions.
With the district attorney's office, how many times does a defendant, does the case appear before a judge that it's then withdrawn? I mean, how many times does this matter come before a judge and the decision then gets made is withdrawn?
It depends. In this specific case, what I could tell you is that after the first listing, when the victim failed to appear, the case was marked what I'll call must be tried, which is a little bit of a court lingo, but basically saying if it's not tried by the next listing, it'll either be dismissed or withdrawn. It was marked that way after the first listing when she didn't appear in court. And then at the second listing, when again, we didn't have the witness or the victim in court, it was at that point withdrawn, given the previous marking.
Do you have his date of birth?
I do not, but I'm sure we can get that.
Yeah, okay.
The video that was seen of the vehicle in the area of the Arboretum, do we believe that's the vehicle that?
So this vehicle has been traveling all over the city. So we do believe this video was involved
It just makes
in
me
what we're talking about, and we have it all over the city in concert with how he's moving as well.
okay.
Yep, we have the date of birth for you. It is 5/6/2004. So 5/6/2004.
Do you guys know how the two knew each other, how long it had been, and is this the specific individual that Kada had expressed concern about, specifically harassment?
I'm not willing to comment on that at this time. That's still very much being investigated in terms of their relationship and how long they knew each other.
That's what I'm saying. In DV cases, the victim and or witnesses don't even need to cooperate for the DA to move forward with charges. The state can charge you if the witness doesn't want to cooperate, right? And they'll use whatever they have. Maybe it's a material situation. Maybe that's what it is. I'm not really sure. I just think it's BS. I do wonder what is it that they had at that point to move forward. And I'm just saying, man, because if that was my child or you guys or me or whatever, and it was anything preventable, I always kind of go crazy because it's like, what are we doing here? Okay, and he has and now we're saying that it's a pattern. Now we're saying it's a pattern because he did it before.
So the significance of the car right now, the urgency, if you will, can you address why you believe he might need to find this car?
Sure, I can certainly comment on that, or if you want to. I mean, at this point, we believe he is connected to this vehicle. We also believe she may have been in that vehicle.
As far as the other case, the kidnapping case,
Yes.
can you just explain some of the circumstances surrounding that case? Brief as you.
Sure. That case is an individual that was known to him, a domestic in nature. And what I can say is the allegations in that case are that he kidnapped a woman in front of her house, threw her in her car, assaulted her, and then eventually let her out of the car. There is some video evidence, I believe, that'll be played at the preliminary hearing, but that was domestic in nature.
And do you have a time or about when that happened?
It was this year in 2025. The case was withdrawn in May, so it predates that by a little bit.
What was the last location as far as?
I don't know if we have exactly the last location, but what I can say is through our investigation, it was tracked all over the city, in multiple areas of the city in multiple different time periods throughout, the entire length of this investigation.
When police were at an address in Southwest Philadelphia last Thursday night, was that one of his addresses?
It was one of the addresses connected to this investigation.
Yeah, it just happened.
King or possibly driving that vehicle before him?
In terms of other people being involved, I don't have comment on that at this time. It's still very much being investigated. There have been several phone numbers involved that we've been tracking, but all roads at this point lead to him, and so that's what we're hoping leads us to her.
After she arrives at work at 10 o'clock, how big is the time window when she actually remains at work?
Yeah.
She's not there long at all. She gets there maybe just before 10, and right after she's out, maybe 20 minutes. That's what I'm told.
Are they communicating at this point?
We believe they are, yeah.
Do you know how the two knew each other?
I don't know their relationship. Obviously, they had a connection. They're going back and forth, and they've known each other for a short time, but I don't know how long.
All right. Good
right.
morning. Just want to give you an update on the
That was earlier, a couple hours ago, maybe 2 hours ago or an hour and a half ago. That's what happened. I listen, I have no words. I guess we'll find out how people move on this situation and what else. I truly hope that the vehicle is found, well, that she's found, number one, but that the vehicle is found and she's in the vehicle. I hope that she's alive, but I don't know, man, because they said that they have the homicide people, but just because they have the homicide people doesn't necessarily mean that they're looking at it as a homicide. That's my understanding of the situation. So I think it's something to kind of keep in mind. I think it's just an additional investigative team, if that makes sense, to this. But I don't know, man. I guess there's that update. It's a disturbing update, guys. Honestly, it is. I don't like it. Give me 1 sec, guys. I got somebody at my door. 1 sec, guys. All right. Sorry about that. You said Primary example of Luigi, they overcharged. Yes, he took a life, but terrorism. But when you see cases like this and the law just shrugs their shoulders, oh well. Ooh. Won't refile. They don't have a witness. Yeah, they're going to refile. Is the witness going to cooperate now? That's the question that I have. What does that look like for I guess what does it look like if do you have a witness now to refile on that case that you didn't file before? I don't know. It's just weird to me. James, thank you so much for gifting 10 memberships. Thank you, my love. Shout out to James and everybody that supports the channel. I really do appreciate it. You can support the channel also, guys, by hitting that like button. It does help. Please and thank you. Now, hold up. See, Facebook, this is why I don't like you sometimes. Give me one sec. I'm trying to set everything up here. It kind of, my window's closed. Okay. We're gonna transition into Jacqueline Mimi Torres and a couple things that I discovered yesterday. And I want to talk a little bit about it because we were right about some stuff, just so people are aware. Remember yesterday we were live and we were talking about a little bit more information. Well, we were talking about the case, right, of this child that was found in an abandoned house in like a bin, and she hadn't been seen in like a year. She had been gone. Apparently she had died, I guess, a year. And so there was confusion about the dates, about the father, when he actually saw her. His name is Victor Torres. And we were talking about that yesterday, right? Because it didn't make sense. He said he last saw her on the 29th, which her birthday's January 29th. And then police went into the press conference and said, "Oh, no, 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 no. They believe she had died sometime in the fall of 2024," which just doesn't make sense date-wise, right? It just doesn't. It doesn't. Hold up one sec. Her people have sent me more information on this situation. I watched True Crime, what is it? True Crime with Strategic Eye or Strategic Eye True Crime. I always flip it. I don't know why. But I watched a little bit of his reporting yesterday, and it was so interesting because he actually pulled the custody information, okay? And there was a confession that the mother, Karla Garcia, made in an interview with a blogger or something. We're going to review that. And it's very telling what Karla says about the father, okay? Mimi's father, Jacqueline's father, okay? And even though, like, somebody came in my comments yesterday and was like, "Oh, you have all this energy for the dad. What about the mom? She's the one that committed the crime." Yada, yada. I got all that energy for both parents, right? First of all, for whoever took her life, for whoever didn't protect her. That could be mom and dad, whatever it may be. I have energy for all kinds of energy for all that because there was a lot of people that allowed her, and I mean it. There was court involvement, and it wasn't through CPS. The father did petition the court for custody, and the mother effer didn't follow up, never showed up. This is why the court gave mom full custody of this child, Mimi, Jacqueline Torres. This father, again, let me repeat myself. He did, but he didn't show up. He was concerned enough to file for custody, okay? Because he is the plaintiff, but he didn't show up. So what did they do? They gave custody to Karla. 3 times. 3 times. So yes, he's a grieving father. I can give you that. But he never followed through. Typically when you file for custody, you kind of have to show up to court. That's what you got to do, right? Like that's what you do. But this guy he couldn't bother to show up. So miss me with the oh my goodness, you got all this energy for the dad, but what about the mother? No, miss me with that. This is shout out to Strategic True Crime, because he's the one who led me to this, watching his video last night. So giving credit to him. This is I guess a Facebook person. Her name is Kimberly Woods. She's like a social media influencer. You got those on Facebook too, right? And apparently, and I'm going to read what she posted. Kimberly Woods. That was one of the hardest interviews I've had to do, but it was worth it. Justice serve. But what I found out shocked my soul. When I found out baby Mimi was not only dead since September 19th of 2024, but also Karla had another child pretending to be her during wellness checks. I knew this interview was taking a left turn. Thank you to my best friend, Vanessa Hall, for being the co-host and asking the questions we needed to find out. I was being played like a flute, where I thought I was helping an abused, terrified mom clear her name. I then realized I was in the face of a stone cold murderer. Justice for Mimi. Allegedly, according to this person, Kimberly Woods, who talked to Karla, Karla was having another child pretend she was Mimi. Mhm. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. Or let me, because it makes me upset to even hear this. Karla was having another child pretend she was Mimi, allegedly, according to this post. And Strategic, I even pointed this out. Like, if this is what she's confessing, this lady might be subpoena, which makes sense. Like, keeping that in mind. These are some text messages. Hey, my best friend is here. Don't worry if you saw two guys coming. That's her husband and his best friend. They're going to help with the recording since I couldn't have a cameraman. Karla responds, okay, I'm on the phone. Give me a few. Okay, no worries. We just want to go over the questions with you and see how you want to do the lineup. If you want to say what you sent me first and then ask the questions, or if you want us to ask the questions and then you say what you were going to say, what happened? Karla responds, okay, yes. I would like to organize and review everything before we even do this. I'm so scared for my life, but I want to clear my name. Okay? Don't be scared for your life. You're in the building. You're safe. Karla responds, okay, I'll be there in a few. Kimberly says, would you feel better if me and my friend came up to talk privately before you turn on the cameras? Yes. Okay. Through the front or the back? The back. We in the back. I'm coming now. Okay. Kimberly says, tomorrow at 5, I have my cameraman coming to your house. You need to clear your name. It's getting bad. Let the people know you're innocent and your boyfriend is the true villain. Remember, she had a boyfriend by the name of Jonathan Nanito, whatever the hell his name is. Jonathan Nanito, I think that's his last name. Nanito, Nanita. Anyways, a lot of people want to hurt you and tarnish your name, but I can help you clear your name. She responds, Karla, thank you. No worries. This is so fucked up, but I'll try my absolute best to get your name cleared. Okay? So then Karla messages the following. First, I want to apologize to my daughter for failing her as a mother and being afraid to speak to anyone about the situation we were all going through. If you have been a victim of domestic violence, you'd be afraid as well when someone is threatening to kill you and your other kids if you speak being mentally, physically, and verbally abused every single day, not knowing what to do, who to tell, or who to be afraid of. Yes, I was wrong for not speaking up. But Victor, where were you when your kids needed you? And Strategic Guy, True Crime, shout out to him because he said this. And I told you guys this yesterday. This, I'm mid-sentence, okay? She is in this. This is Karla saying in this message. Yes, I was wrong for not speaking up. But Victor is Mimi's dad, biological dad. Where were you when your kids needed you? Where was he? That's what I want to know. Even though Karla is a monster, you could say that, right? But where was he? Let's keep going. Yes, Karla continues. Yes, they gave me full custody because you never showed up for your kids. We had 3 court dates and you didn't show up to 1. That, my friends, matches with the court paperwork on the custody arrangement. This grieving father, which I get it, he's grieving now. But why didn't he show up to the court dates in which he needed to? Three opportunities to take care of your kid. Three. I want y'all to remember that number. So when people come in here in my comments and say, you don't have this energy. No, I do. Okay. The other person who said in my chat, well, he had another separate family. He was doing his best and he was being isolated. That's not true. Because 3 times he petitioned the court. I want to believe in my heart that he intended to step up because he petitioned the court and he had 3 opportunities, but he didn't show up. 3 times to save your child. 3 times to make something different. 3 times. Three times. Just want people to understand that. Okay. Yes, they gave me full custody because you never showed up for your kids. We had 3 court dates. You didn't show up to 1. You say you've seen your daughter for her birthday, and that's a lie. You haven't seen your daughter for more than 3 months because you were too busy building a future for yourself instead of taking your time to actually wonder if something going on, knowing you haven't seen your daughter, as well as knowing everything I was going through. I was giving you signs that I was in a domestic violence situation, but you ignored every sign. As for everyone else, you guys didn't look for my kids, not for holiday birthdays, not even a regular check to see if they were okay or need anything. Now, this is where Karla deserves a slap. Like, this is where Karla deserves, people to come at her. Like, what the hell are you talking about? So now you're the victim, right? I could believe that she was a victim of DV. Don't get me wrong. I could believe that. But you don't get to shift blame, right? Like, you don't get to do that. Once you realize that you are a victim of DV, okay, you either protect yours and your children or you stay there. You either protect yours and your children, you protect that mama reaction, that instinct that once you give birth, some women get, like, you just get it. That jumps in right away. Karla, you chose this man. That's what it is. I'm sorry. Okay? I'm sorry. That's what she did. Yeah, I'm just saying. Right, Kathy? And the man can't see his kids with the new family? Right? Karla needs more than a snap. I'm telling you. Like, what are you doing? You're not going to manipulate. Like, I understand that she interviewed and everything, but here's the deal. It's one thing, and I've seen it time and time again in DV situations where you have the victim, but when you have children in the mix, guess what? If CPS gets involved, there's an automatic open case right there, right? Ample opportunity. Because you have to figure out, how do you save your children? Women put their children before they put anybody else. Karla couldn't do that. So already Karla is figuring out her defense right here. Just so people understand. Okay? That's right. You don't play sides when you're going through DV. Once you realize that you're going through DV, that there's a cycle, you don't play sides. You don't. Period. Or CPS. Mm. Let's keep going, okay? You say you seen your daughter for her birthday. And that's a lie. So we don't even know if you actually saw her on her birthday, which I believe was like the 29th. We don't know if Victor actually saw Mimi on the birthday. Victor to me is cap. I'm sorry. For those that are like, "Oh, he's a it's cap. It's cap. That's what it's giving to me. Because even though I don't believe a lot what Karla's doing here, I can believe that he was not very active, given that we have the receipt about the court. He didn't prioritize Mimi. He failed this child, just like everybody else around him. Okay? And she was 12. Okay? Let's keep going with these messages. Had I had more support, I would have never been afraid to reach. Hold up. To reach. Had I had more support, I would never been afraid to reach. Getting threatened, I kept asking if this. I kept asking, this is my first daughter and the one that made me a mother for months. I've been suffering in months and I've been abused, not only me, but my kids mentally, physically, and verbally. On Wednesday, the first day of the situation, I was not arrested. I was being threatened and I feared for my life. So I stopped at the scene. Okay, one sec, y'all. All right. Sorry about that, guys. If I kept asking, this is my first daughter, the one that made me a mother for months. I've been suffering for months. I've been being abused, not only me, but my kids, mentally, physically, and verbally. So, hold up, y'all. All right. I've been being abused, not only me, but my kids mentally and physically and verbally. On Wednesdays, the first day of the situation, I was not arrested. I was being threatened and I feared for my life. So I stopped at the scene and I asked for them to help me because I was being chased by people with guns. So people, after the news broke, I guess people started threatening her and everything and accusing her. And this is exactly what I was afraid of, being looked at like I did this when I did nothing but not speak when I was afraid. So part of not speaking up was being afraid. When I got to the police station, they told me that I was not arrested. They just brought me in because they wanted to keep me safe and asked me questions as they should. Then they asked me if I wanted to speak to the police, and I told them I had no problem speaking to them because I had nothing to hide. And I cooperated with everything because I know I did nothing. I know I didn't put my daughter in a container and throw her like she's a piece of trash. I'm grieving as well. I'm hurt I lost my baby girl. There's nothing in the world that will ever make me accept the fact that she's no longer here. My heart is broken for her siblings, her family. I'm sorry I was afraid. I'm sorry I failed you. I want justice as much as everyone else. So please stop making fake news articles, making stories involving people that have no fault in what is going on. And no one knew what was going on. Most importantly, my sisters. Everyone has the right to grieve and hurt. Making up stories when there's no facts out there. yet is not okay. Threatening and harassing me isn't okay, you guys. I want justice, but all over social media saying where I live, where I wanted to harm me, wanting me dead. I'm still a mother who lost her child, who was afraid of an abusive man who threatened her and her kids' life every day. Everyone who truly knows me knows I'm not capable of. I'm not capable of. Let me see where it leaves off. Social media saying where I live and I wanted to harm me, wanting me dead. I'm still a mother who lost her child, who was afraid of an abusive man threatening her and her kids every day, life every day. Everyone knows, truly knows me, knows I'm not capable of something so cruel. Okay. So then the lady with the interview, her name is Kimberly, says, "We still good for today, or would you rather do it on another day?" I think we should do it tomorrow. I've been having such a bad day. What are your thoughts? Okay. Hold up. Let me enter the code here. Okay. Say the streets talk, Karla, and a lot of people knew what you were capable of. All right. Yeah, no mention. My daughter, I wouldn't hurt my daughter. I wouldn't do this. I don't come after me. I didn't do nothing to do. Everything that you guys were doing is so horrible. Okay, let's keep going. Kimberly responds, "Hey, my best friend is here. Don't worry if you saw two guys." Okay, this is the same repeated messages. Okay. That is, she doesn't say, Karla doesn't outright say that she hurt her. What she says is that she didn't protect her, right? That's what Karla says, right? Okay. This blogger for the rights, I want to thank Miss Kimberly Woods, CT, the topic for her diligent hard work on getting insight and real information regarding the murder of now 12-year-old Jacqueline Mimi Torres Garcia. A lot of people think that reporting news is clout chasing and has a lot of negative things to say. However, there is way more to the story. People always want to mind their business when it comes to certain things in their neighborhoods. But imagine that call imagine that call not coming in. Imagine the person not realizing that something's off in their neighborhood to make that call. Okay, I'm going to see if I can. What is this? CT. Is this the blog? I think this might be the blog that might have had an interview. Hold up. I don't know if they posted it. I do wonder if it was posted. I don't see anything posted. Okay. She might be a local blogger there. Now, somebody send me I think it was Mary. Mary, shout out to you. Mary sent me this on IG and I want to read it to you guys. I haven't seen it all. I kind of skim read it here and there, but I figured I'd react to it. The real story behind what happened to 12-year-old Mimi Torres. When Mimi was born, Karla was already in jail. Her father, Victor, was locked up too. So his mother, Patricia, took the baby home and raised her. Even from behind bars, Victor stayed involved. When he came home, he and Karla got back together and had Nina. Victor and his mom raised both Mimi and her sister Nina for over 8 years. They had structure, love, and family. Karla hated that. She was on child support and constantly tried to get Victor locked back up. Patricia even offered to pay off Karla's child support and gave her extra money if she just leave Victor alone. It didn't stop her. Eventually, Victor met someone new and had another child. That was when Karla snapped. He later moved to Florida to build a business and a home so his daughter could have a better life. Planned to bring them once he was set up, but since he couldn't take them right away, Karla went for custody. I don't know about that. I'm telling you guys that I'm calling BS on this custody thing. He could have showed up 3 opportunities. Victor tried to get custody, but that's when DCF or maybe a guardian ad litem stepped in and somehow sided with Karla. I saw the hearings, and I don't see any DCFS involvement or anything. So unless that's a separate hearing, there is nothing here that is entering in this minute orders or motions that tells me that CPS was involved or a guardian ad litem was involved. So I do wonder about that. I don't know. I don't know. I have my questions about that. I'm just gonna say that. After that, everything spiraled. While living with Karla, one of Victor's relatives had a child that went to school with Nina. Okay. Sorry. While living with Karla, one of Victor's relatives had a child that went to school with Nina, so they started sending her their own child with extra food, snacks to ensure Nina wouldn't go without. When asked about Mimi, Nina said that she with her friends and saying Mimi attended a different school. That friend might have been the alleged DCF friend Karla claimed she sent Mimi to stay with while she healed, or it could be part of a cover-up story. Okay, this I'm gonna stop reading right here because I feel like let me tell you why. And thank you, Mary, for sending this to me. This might be part of a story of a situation, and this might speak to what Victor tried to do and everything, but I don't think it's the complete story. It's given me one-sided. It's given me that there was plenty of excuses made. My thing is that if he went as far as to file for custody, why didn't he show up? Why didn't he show up to one hearing? It wasn't like they just said, all right, you're done, and that's it. The minute orders doesn't even indicate, or this filing doesn't even indicate that they had any DCFS. Look, Victor even had an attorney there. There was like an attorney or whatever that was present. I don't know if he did any filings for him. That's the question that I have. Why didn't he do more? 3 times? Did he really see her on her birthday? Do we have any time? Like, do we have a picture? Typically, if they don't see, if parents that don't have their kids with them, they tend to take a picture. It's your birthday, a birthday picture that says the date of when was the last time you saw her. Because I'm on this point where I'm like, I mean, I think that they're both crappy individuals. Honestly, he might be grieving, but he could have stepped it up a little bit more. 3 opportunities, 3. Why didn't he take any of them? He didn't appear. And it totally matches to what the custody says there. I'm not going to rescue a man's image. I'm sorry. He might be a grieving father, but he didn't show up when he was needed. He filed, which was a wonderful, great step, but he didn't follow through. I'm not rescuing anybody's image. Or even the grandparents. There was a news report where they're interviewing, we both love her, but they didn't want to see us. No, I'm not. 3 opportunities. Why didn't the grandparents show up to the court hearings if Victor couldn't do it? I'm not making excuses for people. Like, what are we doing? Right. This is a sad situation, very preventable. It didn't have to happen this way at all. This didn't have to go this way. If Karla chose, in my opinion, to Jonathan. Okay, there was a lot of decisions. There was multiple kids there. This little baby girl was a target for whatever reason. She was targeted. It's not okay. Why? Why did this happen this way? And we could sit here, and I definitely blame the systems. I blame the school district. I blame DCF, the child welfare system. I blame all of them. But I also blame the parents. I blame all of them, all of these adults. An anonymous caller, I don't think I played this yet, came forward. The one that made the anonymous call. Listen.
Tipster who helped New Britain police find the 11-year-old.
This anonymous
people have come to.
went to visit the site, right? The memorial site. And she is the one that made the anonymous call about this baby being gone. Okay.
Pay their respects to Mimi. One of them was Love, who says she was the anonymous tipster who helped New Britain police find the 11-year-old's body.
I wanted to believe it was a clothes bin of clothes. I really didn't want to believe it was a body. Your heart races. Your heart races.
Love says her friend knew the 11-year-old's mother's boyfriend, Jonathan Nanita. She says he started to leave breadcrumbs in their conversations about killing someone and where the body was.
He kind of just told the wrong person where she was, and we came and investigated it, and it was a body. Jonathan kind of told on himself, really.
Love says Nanita told her friend the person who was killed was a, quote, bad man and that they, quote, deserved it. She says they launched a self-investigation to find the body, but were shocked when it turned out to be Mimi's.
I was disgusted, but I had a feeling anyways it was a human, because she did tell me that he said it was a bad man. So I was disgusted. I was devastated when I found out it was a little girl.
She says their discovery led New Britain police to this house on Clark Street, where they recovered the storage bin, and the autopsy confirmed the body's identity to belong to Mimi. Since the discovery, police have arrested Anita, the girl's mother Karla Garcia, and her aunt Jacqueline Garcia. After learning about the prolonged abuse police say Mimi endured, Love wishes someone could have saved her, but says she's glad they found her when they did.
She deserves her peace.
People have come to pay their respects to Mimi. One of them was Love, who says she...
This is it's just sad, you know, overall. So many opportunities. I go back to say that again. 3 court dates, 3 different court dates, 3 different times that father could have stepped up. 3 different, and Karla as well. She could have called DCFS. I was scared. I was okay. She could have gotten these kids to a school, take these kids to a hospital. She was a selfish woman. I'm sorry. That's just how it is. She's a selfish woman. And her actions, she takes no accountability for any of that shit. If this is correct, and this is her quote unquote confessionals here, she takes no accountability at all. She blames Victor. Huh? No, girl. No, girl. Mm-mm. That's crazy. To me, that sounded like yeah. She doesn't even blame Jonathan. She blames Victor, right? She blames Victor for not being there. You're not even blaming Jonathan, who I'm pretty sure your defense is going to be, well, he unalived her and I was too afraid to speak out. That's what it is. She doesn't even blame herself for not protecting her. Get the fuck out of here. I mean, it's just crazy. Like it's crazy. And all of these adults are around and they're like, oh my God, we couldn't believe it. It's pathetic. I'm sorry. It is what it is. It is what it is. Okay. It's heartbreaking, but it didn't have to happen. It didn't have to happen. All right, guys, I'm going to let you guys go because I got to go tend to baby bunny. I really appreciate everybody. Thank you so much, guys. I am Loggins. Thank you for becoming a member. Shout out to you. Thank you. Thank you. And James, thank you again for gifting memberships. I will see you guys later on. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button and sharing. And I will talk to you later on. Bye, guys.